What's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from dieselcrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. What we're looking at right here is two Iron Mind pinch blocks. In a video last week I put up, I was talking about the events for the King Kong of Grip for 2024. And the pinch block on the right is the one that I showed. This is the one that I used as a promoter and competitor at King Kong of Grip 2023. I have two other pinch blocks, which are the original style pinch blocks, but I cannot find them today, so I don't have them available for this video. This pinch block I got from John McCarter in either 2017 or 2018. I'm not sure what, but this is the one that he performed his world record on that he had for Iron Mind's list back at that time period. This pinch block I got later on. I don't know when I got it, but it, as far as I know, is the current version of the Iron Mind pinch block, and this would have been the version that was available sometime in between there. The pinch blocks that I cannot find don't have this kind of paint surface on there. They're very, very shiny. They're almost impossible to get chalk on. So the first thing I noticed when I got the pinch block was it had this dent in it. Okay? And when we tested it, we found that if we put our fingers on this side, we got something like a 15-pound increase on the pinch block. If we turned it around, we lost that 15 pounds. So anytime I've run this in competition, part of the rules were that the dented side had to be in the back, because as you'll see, when you pinch on this thing, your thumb does not get anywhere near there. So actually when I grip it, it's more like this, and the dent is way down here. Incidentally, I got this pinch block because I thought, wow, that's part of history. He'd set a world record on that. I want to have that in my collection. I already had two pinch blocks at the time. Like I said, this came later on. I don't even know when this came. When we got to the Philadelphia arm lifting contest that year, which was April of 2018, they did not have this version of pinch block. It was actually the original style that doesn't take chalk very well, has that shiny paint to it. And I did more in the competition than I did in training. So first off, I just want to say that yes, there is a dent. And yes, we've continued to use this implement, but we keep the fingers on the straight side. There is no way to reach that dent with the thumb. Now, with the fingers, yes, you're getting inside of there. No doubt about it. But part of the rules, anytime that we've run this event, part of the rules was that the dent had to be in the back. Anybody that was at King Kong this year can verify that. Now, my hat's off to W Grip and Eric Roussin, who reached out to me regarding this feature of the block that was apparent in that video. And I certainly don't think bad of anyone for seeing that and having a red flag go off, because God knows if I see anything questionable, I speak my mind about it. So again, recognition to W Grip, who reached out to me yesterday, and Eric Roussin, who wrote to me today. So we'll get this ironed out. It's been suggested by Clint that we could try to put something inside of here and blow it up to expand this back out. There may be a way to fix it, but at the same time, didn't really want to go and further manipulate the block or alter it in any way when the numbers are just, I guess what I'm trying to say is, why go and manipulate this any further when if you keep the bend in the back where your thumb can't even reach it, why bother? So I just wanted to put this out because obviously people were upset about it, or at least concerned. And frankly, if you notice, these pinch blocks are not the same. The edge at the top here is almost a 90-degree angle. This one, on what I believe is the current model, is round. And you can see the chalk comes right off that thing when you're trying to lift. So I've done a great deal of training on this one as well. But the biggest difference maker, provided you keep the dent on the thumb side, the biggest difference maker is this edge right here. So, you know, people that I work with or write to me about it and they want to know how to perform best on this, the first thing I tell them is to try to find this version of the pinch block, because that's a even bigger difference maker than what this dent ends up being. So you can see they're not the same. If you look here, you have the seam on the inside here. I don't even see a seam on the, oh, there it is. And you can't really control where the seam is on you know, from what I understand on steel stock, the seam might be here, it might be here, might be down here, who knows. But there's variation in these pinch blocks that naturally make some of them an advantage over the other styles, especially if you include the paint job and the angles at the top. So just full disclosure on this, absolutely, this thing is bent on this one side, and it's so far down that if you keep it a grip like this, you will never get an advantage on that thing. In fact, I've lifted better on other pinch blocks while training on this in competition, lifted better on other pinch blocks than this one. And if you go back and look at my numbers in videos that I've put up, I've been up near 96, 97 pounds on this pinch block and in training, but in King Kong this past year, I only did like 92, 93, something like that. It was not a good day for pinch block. So again, just full disclosure, and I welcome any kind of feedback, positive or negative, but the fact remains that if there's anything about this pinch block that gives people an advantage, it's these angles on the pinch block, making the pinch block straighter for you to grab onto rather than have to take a grip on the rounded edge. Any questions, you can feel free to leave them below or reach right out to me on Facebook, Instagram, email. Email is jed.diesel@gmail.com, jedd.diesel@gmail.com. Thanks for your time. Take care.